I'm Sky, this is Zach. This is the Quick and Dirty. Okay, we're going to talk about the dragon flag. This is another useful form of that spinal stability that we call anti-exercise. We're going to put our bodies up into a position where our own body weight tries to break us into extension, and the strength of your midline is going to have to resist that, form that super stiffness that keeps you safe while you're doing your other exercises. Zach's going to run you through some pretty advanced stuff here, and I'll show you how to dial it down.
All right, guys, so yeah, Doc was touching on, we're going to cover two different advanced movements with this. I'm going to start out with one. This is going to be kind of the goal you want to get towards. Doc will show you some progressions to get into that position, and then I'll finish it off with some hot fire. All right, guys, but what we're looking at first is every time I prescribe this kind of stuff to my athletes, I'm like, we're going to do dragon flags. If they don't know what it is, we just say Rockies. And if they don't know what that is, they should grow up and watch the movie. But really what we're looking for, guys, is just like in Rocky IV, where you train out in the barn. If you're not familiar with that, we're right here. Now what we're doing is we're not going to be on a bench like Rock was. What we're going to be doing is using this rack. Ideally, you're going to have something that's very stable to hold on into, because what we're going to do is anchor into the lat. Now you've probably seen some of these in the past. People come up and then they kind of break and then they come back up. Now what I'm really looking for, guys, is to get you up here and have this really intense eccentric load on the way down, where you're not breaking the position. You're really having to anchor into the lats and keep the body in a nice tight position. This is really the end goal of where we're going, guys. I don't want you to even ever go back to the ground. I want you to come all the way down as close as you can get. It comes back up. Now, what Doc's gonna do is show you some variations on how to get somebody going towards this, and maybe even talk about some of the other things that we're looking to avoid, and then we'll finish it out with that, a little bit more advanced position we were talking about here.
Okay, the way Zach was doing that dragon flag, he had his stomach hollowed, he had the lower back engaged, a little bit more than you see in a lot of videos out there if you're surfing around the web looking at dragon flags. A lot of ones that you're going to find have more of an extended lower back, and it stays extended all the way through. The heel's touching. It's a challenging version, but it's one that I don't like so much. I feel a lot of low back compression with that. A lot of my patients don't really thrive in that position. So the way we're doing it here today is intentionally pulling a little bit of rounding through the lower back and maintaining that position. Now, I like to do a bit of a regression off of this, where you're not even doing the concentric, you're only doing the eccentric. So I just come to here, let the hips flex, push back up, and focus on the eccentric load before it breaks into extension. So that's a great modification for people who are building up the strength for Zach's version. Now let's see some circus tricks, throw some kettlebells in the mix. Come on, dance, monkey boy.
All right, guys, so like we were saying, that first version we showed you, that is what I'm looking for in my athletes and whatnot when I prescribe this kind of trunk work, because that's really what I'm looking for here. You're getting a massive amount of lat in there, and that's awesome. But usually what this comes down to is at the end of the day, they still owe me some more trunk work, and we're tossing that in there. Now, just like the doc was saying, you can do it in a different variation where you're only focusing on the eccentric, and then you're kind of popping yourself back up. You saw when I was doing it, I was pulling myself back up. Now, some of you may already be familiar with this, you maybe have seen it before, but this is just a variation you do with kettlebells. Like I was saying, find an anchor point. We don't have an anchor point. For whatever reason, we can't find anything that's stable to grab onto, and you're very proficient in the dragon flag and you feel very confident in it, and as well as your kettlebell work. You just can grab two bells. I got two 53s for this currently. I'm gonna get in a good stable position like you can see some of our other videos as far as the pickup goes. Bring them back, get the bells here. I put them up, and then from here what's gonna happen is I'm gonna bring myself up into that dragon flag style position, and I'm gonna lower away. As I do that, I'm gonna drop the bells back slightly away from me, creating a good strong position here. And then I pull myself back up, and then I drop back away again. As you can see, maintaining that tightness, don't let myself touch, come back up, going back down. Again, I'm focusing on not going to the ground. I don't wanna see that. My legs are tight as well. I bring them up. If you guys watch my body here as I come away, if I break that leg, you can see instantly I'm getting out of my position. Tighten it up again, nice and flexed and pointed. I drop out, can hold there, do time, do whatever. One more time up. I come back down. Bells come safely to the ground. I return them out in front of me. That's some next level stuff, guys. Keep this stuff simple, all right? We showed you what could be the more advanced thing back here. Until you're repping that out for sets and reps, don't even think about messing with this. It is cool to bust it out at parties though. What you got, Doc?